Hello there, it's Marlene back again. Um, we're never guaranteed anything in life, and I found in my old age that when the wind blows one way, don't try and go the other direction. Just go with wherever the wind is going, because it's a much easier lifestyle. Now, I've been in here 2 years in this van, and the first winter was really grim. The second winter was better. I actually invested in an electrical heater, ran a lead to the garage, and when it got really bad, I had that. But I found I've always been a real wuss when it comes to getting into a bed. I like it to be warm. I do not like getting into a cold bed, even though since I've had the wool duvet, the initial sting is very, very brief. However, old habits die hard. I wanted an electric blanket. And after watching a few YouTubers, I discovered that a regular, ordinary single electric blanket could be run on a power station um, because they don't draw much. And when I looked into it, I saw an electric blanket that was only 70 watts. And I thought that was really low. So anyway, I decided after long, long thought to invest in a power station, and everyone seems to rave about Bluetti, and the local Noel Leemings in town had one that was a 2000 watt. I went in there, tried to get it on my gold card with a bit of discount. However, like Apple, Bluetti do not, or Noel Leeming anyway, can't blame either. I don't know who, but anyway, they would not give me a discount. So that was disappointing. However, I still went ahead because I'd done the maths and it will pay for itself many times over. And in fact, the one I got was the Premium 100 version 2, and it takes, I think it'll last 4,000 cycles, which is just over 10 years. And, you know, if you use it every day, charging it every day. So what made me decide to do that was that where I'm parked, the property I park on, they have free power with their power supplier between the hours of 4 and 5. So you've got an hour of free power. And of course they pay for it in the long run, but anyway, it sounds good. So what I've decided to do is charge it each day where needed in that hour between 4 and 5. It takes 45 minutes to charge to get to 80%. So I would reckon that by within that hour, I should be able to get it up to pretty close to its max. And so I feel the system is better because I was running a lead from the garage. I had to have a window cracked open to get the lead in, and it wasn't really very efficient. Now this way, not only can I have the heater and the electric blanket on, but I can also, I've invested in this little, I want an induction cooker plate, but I got this one from Kmart, $19, and it only draws 500 watts. So I dare say it'll only be good for making a hot Milo, milky Milo, or perhaps some sort of soup, noodles, something, heating up meals that I've already pre-cooked. But it'll be really nice on a cold evening to be able to pop that on, and I've yet to try to see how much of a percentage of the Bluetti goes down after I've used it. It's just got it out of the box. Now, yeah, and I'm after an induction plate. The one I had my eye on that had the best reviews, it was out of stock. I don't know why I keep looking out the window, sorry. Distracted by all the birds. Yes, so an induction cooker I'll be able to put here on because I'm sitting at the table and my air vent is straight above, so that should, you know, any steam or anything will be able to go up there. So I've got that all figured out, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very, very Good. I've spent some time just putting the new electric blanket on the bed. Um, at the moment, I've got my laptop sitting up there because I don't want to spill anything on it when I'm having my lunch. But yes, the controller is at my head and the lead will go down. And this is where I have the Bluetti. It's positioned between the two front drivers, the two seats in the ute. There's a recess at the back. There's like a little step there, and that's what it's sitting on. And yep, here it is, sits there. And then my little step that I use to climb up to bed is positioned in front of it, so I can still access the bed easily. And yeah, should work well. I hope it will anyway. We will see. Now, the other consideration, what brought me to this sort of route, was that LPG, they're saying that the LPG is going to be phased out. I don't know why, because there's so many restaurants who use it, and households were encouraged to use it a few years back. And yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. But anyway, it's become very expensive. And even during this fuel crisis, LPG is supposed to be coming short, in supply as well. But it is quite expensive. And this wagon is designed to have its hot water, the cooking, and the heater all running on LPG. Now, this was built in 1991, so of course, back in those days, LPG was never ended. There was no whisper of a shortage. So, of course, it was all kitted out. Now, I don't want to take that away from the van, but having the Bluetti on board takes up no space at all, really. And for that convenience of having that extra power supply basically running for free, and I will actually get solar panels of the fold up ones that I can actually just put on the bonnet of the vehicle and charge it up. But I'm just looking around to see what's a good deal. The good thing about the Bluetti is it will take any brands. It's not, you don't have to buy a Bluetti solar panel. So I will look into that as well as my induction plate. Now, the other means of cooking is butane, and I have a little butane stove which I use if I want to cook outside, if I'm cooking something stinky. It doesn't sound very good, does it? But you know what I mean, if I want to cook steak. But it has its drawbacks because you can only cook steak when the can is brand new, because as you start using it and it depletes, when it gets down to the lower end of the tin, really the flame is so small you're only doing a low simmer, so it's very difficult to cook different meals on the one cylinder. I end up juggling them. I have some that I usually have three, like a full one, a middle-sized one, and one that's on its last legs, so that I can toast a sandwich on that one on the last legs, which I did this morning actually, just to use up some old tins that I had. So yeah, so I think that the way to go these days is definitely these power stations. They've become so affordable now that, and the benefits are just so great that you can, because I really love being independent and self-sufficient. That's the real key. I get such a kick out of it. If I can get something for free, I know that makes me sound really miserly, and I'm not, but there's a great satisfaction in being able to live that way, where you're not, it's not costing you. It's the way it should be. It's the way we were millennia ago. So it is. So and then if all those fail, and I can't even charge anything, I've got one of those little stick stoves, and I can cook something up with the many sticks that are laying around on the side of the road, on the property. I know that I'll always be able to find a stick to burn. And I have one of those little, magic fire starters. Yes, so all in all, I am prepared for the winter. That was the actual plan. I follow a guy called Ken Ring, who does long range weather forecasts, and he's been very, very reliable. And he said that this year we're in for a very wet, reasonably mild winter here in New Zealand. And I thought, well, if that's going to be the case, this place in here gets quite damp when it's constant rain and you can't air the place properly. So I'd like to be able to have my bed aired through the electric blanket, have the heater going to just dry things out and make things cozy, and also have the added bonus of the free supply of cooking rather than having to rely on the LPG. So I'm all set for winter now, except for those other couple of components I mentioned. And I hope that you too, doesn't matter whether you're living in a house or any situation, when there's power cuts, those power banks are excellent because you can run, depending on the size and the wattage of your freezer, um, or any machines that you require for medical reasons, CPAPs or kidney machines, something like that. Um, then you can be utilizing those to have that peace of mind, because that's what we need, is peace of mind. And when the world seems chaotic, look to nature and to the things that are available to you, so that you can be like the Boy Scouts or the Girl Guides and be prepared. And that's what I'm going to be this winter. And so instead of thinking, ooh, winter's coming, I can't wait to try out my new appliances and see how well my theory works. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to be heading for another storm, I believe, but this little wagon got me through so many that I feel quite confident that I shall be fine. And I hope wherever you are, you will be fine also. Thank you so much again for joining me. I really do appreciate your company, and I really appreciate you. So until next time, have a great week. Bye for now.